Hello and welcome to Hibs TV as we build up to tonight's exciting Viaplay Cup quarter-final against St Mirren here at Easter Road. It's a 7:45 p.m. kickoff and both teams come into this one in good form, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by a good man as well tonight as we build up to today's game. Cads, how are you?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to the game tonight. Perfect weather, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, obviously yourself, you've been on the show already this season, but we're just looking for a little bit of an injury update to see how you are.
Yeah, pretty just sort of going along as it should be. Everything's sort of to schedule. I was down seeing a specialist on Monday, just gone there, so some positive news. Everything's healed well. The surgery has all went well, so it's just about grafting, getting my strength back and getting out in the pitch run as soon as possible, then taking it for there. So it's been a slow burner, but it's been yeah, everyone's on track, and I can't really complain with that front. So yeah, hopefully it goes the way it's going to now.
Yeah, there's been loads of change as well since you were last on this show. Obviously Nick Montgomery, and now as head coach. How's he been with you?
Yeah, he's been brilliant. I just first and foremost introduced himself to me and sort of brought me in as well. Like just little things you don't realise. He brought me in, I think his second day at the club, and I'm the guy with the injured Achilles, you know what I mean? I'm the least of his worries now, but he still brought me in, had a 5-10 minute chat and just sort of asked how I'm getting on. I gave him a sort of injury update, and yeah, just sort of got to know me, which is great. And you don't listen, I didn't expect him to do that, but it's just little things like that. So no, he's been brilliant, and for the whole squad as well, it has been really good. Yeah,
and obviously it would have been a big boost after the weekend's result here as well, I imagine, amongst the dressing room and the lads, that they're in a good mood.
Yeah, no, obviously to get the win, I thought the boys were good as well, especially second half. If you walk away with that 4-0, I think nobody really could have complained. I thought the boys were brilliant, and showed the fitness levels as well. I thought we only got stronger as the half got on, and as well with the depth of the squad and the people that you're bringing on. Like, you're bringing Eli Yuhan off the bench, Doidge off the bench, Paul Hanlon off the bench, like, and Steve-O as well. So it's a proper good squad there. So no, I was really impressed with the boys today. So hopefully they continue tonight.
Yeah, and I suppose tonight as well, the big carrot is a semi-final at Hampden, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've been there a couple of times in my Hibs career, and it's something that you always want to do. You don't want to take these days for granted because they're brilliant. Day out for the fans, go through to Glasgow and go to the National Stadium. It's a real opportunity, and as well, it's an opportunity to win a trophy here. That's what you've got to look for. So obviously first round tonight, but yeah, go get a semi-final and sort of see where it goes for there. But no, Hampden's a great day out, and that's what the boys should experience. It's a new squad as well, so for them to go through and see what Hampden's all about, and see what a semi-final, competition's like, would be great.
Yeah, absolutely will be. It's a big night for the Hibs this evening, and ahead of this one, I caught up with our head coach, Nick Montgomery. Nick, obviously it's been a quick turnaround in games. We've spoke in the past about how beneficial it's been to have extra time on the training pitch. Leading into this one, has it just been a case of recovery more than anything else?
Yeah, for sure. The two games last week, moving into this week's game, a little bit of recovery, obviously reviewing the game from the weekend, a lot of positives to take from that as well, but also a lot of things to build on. So really looking forward to this quarter final on Wednesday night. Hopefully we can get a decent crowd. I know it's a midweek game, but the fans were excellent last week, so hopefully we can really get behind the team again, because it's a quarter final, it's a knockout competition, and a place in the semi-final at Hampden up for grabs. So we'll be going out to win the game, and no doubt St Mirren will as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tricky game. St Mirren this year have had the best start to a top flight season in 75 years. How difficult do you think this game's going to be?
That's really, for them, again, really good statistic. I've had a really good start, but also it's a great opportunity for us to put an end to that good run. And at home, we're gaining a little bit of confidence and momentum from the last two games. But we know it's going to be a tough game. They're well organised. They're aggressive. They deserve to have the good start they had. But really, it's about us. We concentrate on us, give them full respect. But it's at home, at Easter Road, and we'll definitely be going out to win the game.
Yeah, just one game, obviously, away from Hampden, the semi-final. Is that the motivation, all the motivation that the players need?
Yeah, it's a cup competition, the fact that you can be a couple of games away from a final as a player, some players never get there. So yeah, fantastic opportunity for us as a club, as a collective, to get through to a semi-final at Hampden. So first and foremost, we'll fully concentrate on tomorrow's game. The boys are raring to go. Everybody's back fully fit now, after a couple of boys need a little bit of a rest on the weekend due to knocks. everybody's fighting for places now, so I've got the difficult task in picking the team, but everybody's raring to go and really looking forward to the game.
Yeah, you must see this as a huge opportunity as well, obviously being in the job, what, just over 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been over 2 weeks, but it seems a lot longer time. Been long days, but getting to know everything and implementing a lot of stuff and putting processes in place to to make sure that we go into every game prepared. So yeah, we'll be fully prepared tomorrow, and yeah, again, opportunity in any job, to get to cup competitions, and yeah, so soon is good. It's exciting. I'm really excited for tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, just finally, you mentioned the squad then. In terms of Christian Doidge, I presume his stitches have come out all right, and Ellie looked good when he came on too. Yeah,
Doidge's stitches are out, so again, it was a pretty horrific injury, but he's absolutely fine now. And surgeon did a good job. He's just got 2 little lines, but he's a tough boy, and glad that we got through the game unscathed on the weekend, and Ellie came off the bench, and I thought he was absolutely outstanding. So to not risk him for the full game last week, I think that's definitely set him ready for tomorrow night's game, and him along with everybody else will put the hand up. Everybody wants to play, and yeah, I'll pick a team that I think can go out and win the game tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's great news. Good luck tomorrow.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well, Cads, we heard from our manager or head coach Nick Montgomery just then. He seems full of confidence ahead of this one, and rightly so, because of the little bit of momentum we've picked up over the last few weeks. But equally, we're playing against a St Mirren side that have had their best start to a top flight season in Scotland in 75 years.
Yeah, I mean, watching the highlights in sort of a couple of games, I've been really impressed with St Mirren. Sort of no surprise to me. I've worked under Stevie Robinson at Motherwell, and the success he sort of brought there. He has a style of play. It's very effective. You know what you're going to get, but it's still, as you see, it's still hard for teams to stop. So even last week as well, they went against a bigger team, obviously in Hearts, and they could have walked away with 3 or 4. I think they got 3 goals disallowed. So yeah, they've been absolutely flying. But the gaffer and the boys in there, they'll know how hard it is. I mean, we're not daft. They'll know it'll be a real tough night, and as well all the things we were talking about Hampden and getting through to a semi-final. It's the exact same for them, so they'll be really up for it. So for us to get through, I mean, we're going to need to be at our best, and we know that. So yeah, hopefully the boys are.
How do you think Stephen Robinson will set up tonight? Because obviously they'll only have had a couple of almost games to watch of our style of play under Nick now.
Yeah, probably pretty similar to what they usually do. It'll be the 3-5-2 with the two wing backs, which are really good, and they've got real good quality as well, and the 2 boys up front, which are either aggressive, they're quick, and they won't give the centre halves any minutes, so any time in the ball. So we'll know what to expect as well, so they'll not change it. But I'm really looking forward to the game to see how we adapt it, and the quality we've got on the pitch as well. We could get there as well with the pitch looking as well as it is. Yeah, it'll be a real good contest, isn't it? Yeah,
and in terms of our own style of play, obviously that's just starting to come to fruition now as well. We saw that specifically in the second half at the weekend.
Yeah, I think you could actually see it getting better on as the game went on. The boys are really good, and you need to remember the gaffer's not been in for that long, but he's got a real style of play, and I think everything the boys have picked up already has been brilliant in such a short space of time. Been in trying to get in as much team meetings as I can to sort of get a few ideas of what the gaffer wants from people in my position, but other positions as well, and sort of 4-4-2, but it's not an old school 4-4-2, it's like a different 4-4-2, which is great, and the style of play is really good, and I think when we are up and running, we've still got time to adapt and get better, but when we are getting up and running, I think it'll be a real good attacking style of play, which the fans will be delighted to see.
Yeah, it could be a really competitive game this evening, couldn't it?
Yeah, and I mean that's what you got to expect from someone. They'll bring competitiveness, so we've got to match that. We've got to match the physicality, how far they run, everything, all that sort of stuff, the free stuff, and then after that, hopefully our quality will shine through. As I've said before, the squad we've got, the depth as well, and the options we'll have coming off the bench, it'll be big. So yeah, sort of match that sort of physicality, and then after that, hopefully the quality comes.
Absolutely. Just finally on that before we go to the break, in terms of the depth, you mentioned that earlier, obviously the strength of the players that came on last weekend. The manager will have a real headache, won't he, again tonight?
Yeah, well, of course he will, but I guess that's what you want as a manager. You want people fighting for positions, and And as I've always said, as a club like Hibs, you need to be playing well to get in the starting 11. You can't just be guaranteed a game every single week. You need to go into every single Saturday knowing that I need to play well to keep my place next Saturday, and that's the way it should be, and that's what brings teams on, and that's what brings clubs like Hibs forward, and that's what we want. So I even like the striking options we've got, like the people in the centre mids, you've the centre halves as well. Like it's proper competition in places, and that's what kicks clubs on. And yeah, so it's a headache for the gaffer, but it'll be good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll go to a quick break now, but make sure you do stay with us because we'll hear from Chris Cadden a little bit more, and of course we've got an interview lined up with Jordan Abita. We'll see you shortly.
When it comes to things that are exclusive to Scotland, we all have a thing or two to say.
They're amazing, they blew me away.
Superb.
Excellent customer service from start to finish.
First class service every time.
10 out of 10.
A fantastic sales exec.
Nothing was too much trouble.
Outstanding.
I wouldn't go anywhere else now.
Just some of the things that have been said about us. Macklin Motors, exclusive to Scotland.
I'm getting some work done. Enough of that. I am totally winning! Oh, and relaxing.
Here's your water.
With a coffee, thank you. I love this film. I'm doing all of this on my way to Mum's. Because it's all possible on an LNER train.
Next stop, London.
And I'm almost there.
And welcome back to Hibs TV as we continue to build up to tonight's Viaplay Cup quarter-final against St Mirren. Ahead of this one, my Hibs TV colleague Gavin Rittu caught up with Jordan Abita.
Jordan, it's another big week for the club. Two huge games starting with St Mirren in the Viaplay Cup. How excited are you for that one?
Really excited, take this momentum into the game and hopefully get an appearance at Hampton, which would be incredible.
Yeah, how much does the fact that you only have to play two games, win two games, and you can play in a semi-final at Hampton, how much does that kind of lift and motivate the players?
Yeah, it gives you a massive boost, because these games don't come around often, and when you do play there, you can hopefully take the chances and you can come away with a medal.
In terms of Wednesday night then, St Mirren will be no easy task. They made a very good start to their both league and cup campaign. How difficult a game will this be?
Yeah, we found out from the first game, we wasn't at our best and they got the win, but we want to try and get into the semi-final, play really well like we have been doing the last couple of games, and our momentum is really high at the moment and our confidence is good, so hopefully we can get a positive result tomorrow.
What learnings can you take from that first game of the season, because obviously a lot has changed since then? How much have we come on as a club since that first game of the season? Yeah,
we've improved over the games that we've played, and we can only get better, and I felt that they played at their best that day, and we didn't. And hopefully we can play at our best tomorrow and we get the result.
In terms of your own performances, then, what have you made to your start to life at Hibs? I know you played a few different positions.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Obviously, I played left wing back, left back, left midfield. But no, as long as I'm playing, I'm enjoying my time.
Top man, John. Good luck on Wednesday.
Cheers. Thank you.
We just heard from Jordan Naby Keita just then, and he was stressing the importance of momentum and how that can help the lads propel themselves into tonight's game. How important has the recent run of results been for us?
Yeah, I think it's big. I think momentum's a big thing in football, like both ways. I think once you start winning games, there is a real feel-good factor about the place, and so if you can build on that, I think it's massive, especially in this league. Like, every game's tough, every game's a fight, every 3 points really is tough to get. So I think the more of them you can get, especially early on, the better to sort of kick on in the season. Yeah,
and Jordan's another experienced head, obviously, that was brought in the summer. How does that help a group of players? Because we were last season quite young.
Yeah, it does. I think experience is massive. It's something in football. Once you get games behind you as well. John's had a really good career, and when you're watching training, I've also not trained with him yet, but when you're watching training and talking to the boys, he's a real good lad first and foremost, which is great. But on the pitch, you get real quality, and I think you can see that with the crosses and his delivery as well, and he's fit as well, getting up and down. I think he can play sort of left wing and left back as well. So having that cover in both positions is great. But no, he's been a great addition as well. He's fitted in really well with all the boys, which is an added bonus.
Yeah, and obviously that helps coming into a semi-final. Obviously, semi-final we're only in September. Like, what's that like as a player, having the chance to get into a semi-final in September?
Yeah, I think it's a bit when you're here, it's like, oh, I can get in a semi-final so quickly, but I think you just got to capitalise on it. I think pre-season's done now. It's a proper games, and once you get that mindset, then it's you sort of realise the opportunity you've got, and you've got to go take it, because before you know it, whenever the final is, you'll be watching a team in the final and you've not took up the opportunity. So we need to make sure that we know how big a game it is tonight, which the boys will. The boys, of course, will know that, and everybody will know how big a game it is.
Yeah, they absolutely will. And they'll also know a lot about St Mirren. This will be the second time that we've played them this season. Let's just take a quick look back at the last time we played them here at Easter Road.
Del Ferrier does well to keep that in, but he's been robbed by Kilty. Was down in the box, claiming for a penalty kick there. There's not an awful lot in it, but he's just caught the front of his, almost caught the underside of his studs.
Yes, he's kicked his foot away.
Yeah.
This will be given. This will be given.
Yeah, I think there's every chance it will be. It's Mark O'Hara on penalty duties for St Mirren, up against David Marshall. O'Hara right-footed, sends Marshall the wrong way. Just about quarter of an hour on the clock. St Mirren lead by a goal to nil. It's lost. And Campbell played through. Chance here for Olasanya. He's rolled it into the net beyond David Marshall, and that was just careless from Hibs, Stewart, in the centre circle there. Josh Campbell basically got mugged, and it was a quick ball through Olasanya. Newell forward for Lafondre. Decent ball into the path of Doidge. Lafondre's continued his run. It's a decent ball from Doidge. Lafondre hangs it back into it. That was a lovely move. That is what it's all about.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's taken 70 minutes to get it, but what a finish that was. Superb link-up play between Lafondre and Doidge. Lafondre is with the finish. But all credit again to Christian Doidge there, Stuart. You know, he's worked his socks off today. Newell now for Ubita. Lovely ball whipped in early. Oh, chance here. Levitt brings it down, cushions it down for Eli Johan. Back in. It's there! Christian Doidge hits up the equaliser. It was quickly played out by Levitt to Johan. Ball played back across. Christian Doidge there to finish it. And with 8 minutes of the 90 remaining, we're all square here at Easter Road. Hibs 2, St Mirren 2. Much, much better again, Stuart.
And if there's one guy that deserved a goal today, it's Christian Doidge.
Yeah. 17,586 today's official attendance. St Mirren on the push forward again, and they've scored. Alex Grieve left all alone inside the 6-yard box, Stuart, and just guides the header beyond David Marshall, and all Hibs' work is undone.
Cads, we just watched the highlights from that game back just then. Obviously 2-0 down, got it back to 2-2. Looked like we could find a winner, and then obviously there was a huge blow at the end of that one. Obviously you were at that game. A disappointing result, but our style and everything's changed so much since then.
Yeah, there's been a lot of change since then, but I think the boys will know it's fresh in their minds what happened, and obviously the disappointment on that. So that'll be an extra wee bit as well, because I mean the boys won't take it lightly. Our team come in here and beating us as well, so it'll be a wee sort of added sort of motivation for the boys, I think.
Yeah, and as we were kind of watching back just then, we saw the quality that we do possess as well. We were both talking about Adam Lafondra and Christian Doidge, fantastic options for us up front.
Yeah, I think they've been brilliant. I've been really impressed with, obviously I know Doidge a lot more, I know the quality he can bring, and it's good to see him back in Hibs. I think he's been brilliant this season. I think he's a real different option for us, something that we've not got. And yeah, I think you can see he's finished. He's sort of passed for Alfie's goal there. He was brilliant on his bad foot as well. So that shows the quality he's got. He's not just a big guy at one headers. You know what I mean? He's got quality, and the goals he scores as well is brilliant. So he's been really good this season, which is great to see. But Alfie coming in, you can sort of see the quality. I mean, the career he's had is second to none. You wouldn't know how good a career is, but how humble he is and about the place. But the career he's had is brilliant. You can really see the quality he's got, and it just shows for that finish there. It was just passing it in the net. It just looked really simple, which I know will be pretty hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely, and the fans will have a big impact tonight as well, won't they, to try and help us get into that semi-final? Yeah,
of course they will. They always do here. I think it's a perfect night for me, just looking out of the pitch. It's a little bit of rain, it's wet, the pitch looks absolutely perfect for to play football. So under the lights, Easter Road, yeah, quarter-final, looking forward to it.
Yeah, the lads, obviously, we've spoke about St Mirren at length in terms of how well they've done this season, but our lads and the crowd as well will have to remain patient, won't they, as we try and break down a very resilient side.
Yeah, of course, that's what they'll do. They'll be here to frustrate. They'll be in the back fives. You know what I mean? It will be hard to break down, but the boys know that. The boys know the style of play. They know what the manager wants, and they will be patient. As I say, in the attacking quality we've got with Ellie, Boyle, even Jair coming back in the frame. So once we get it to these sort of players in the final third, then they'll be a real threat for us.
What do you think Hibs have to do tonight to make sure that we do progress?
I think sort of, as you say, being patient, trusting our quality, and really not forcing things. I think keeping the ball as much as possible, making St Mirren run. It's a big pitch at Easter Road, so we've got to make sure that we keep the ball, and they're the one that are doing the running without the ball. So they're a fit team. They try and hit us in the counter as well, but keep the ball as best we can. Be patient, sort of go side to side until we get the opening, and then once we get Boyle, Ellie, even Vente as well, that sort of attacking players on the final third, then we can really go and attack. But that's sort of the main thing. I think be patient and yeah, make sure the other one's doing the running.
Absolutely. Well, that's just about all we've got time for this evening. Hopefully we can progress into the semi-final of the Viaplay Cup. Cads, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for watching at home.